Okay, well, good morning. I hope everyone had a really wonderful Labor Day weekend. It was gorgeous, and we know on Long Island how important the weather is to our business and sustainability. So I'm thrilled to see everyone here bright and early on this Tuesday morning. I'm Kristen Reynolds, President and CEO of Discover Long Island. We are the only accredited tourism promotion agency in the region, and we represent Suffolk County, and I'm very excited to be here. I want to kick this off and tell you a little bit about why we're at the Southampton Inn today, because this is truly a testament to our partners and the elected leaders that we have on the East End and the great relationships that we have with them. So we were talking to Dee Dee. She called us one day. It was kind of the beginning of the season, and she had just had a really wonderful networking reception where she came up with a wonderful tagline, turning on the off season. And we thought that was so clever. And she said, listen, Kristen, no offense, but what is Discover Long Island doing to help us on the East End make sure that it's not just being flooded by visitors in the summer season, that we can sustain our businesses year round? And she called a really wonderful meeting together with myself, legislator Ann Welker, Mayor Menger and his team, and we started brainstorming, and this was the results of that. So we really do respond to our partners, and we said, you know what, let's do a big press conference on Tumbleweed Tuesday, and let's change the branding of Tumbleweed Tuesday. We're not gonna close up shop the day after Labor Day anymore. So I really wanna thank our local leaders, our business owners, and all of our partners who have made this possible. And I'm gonna introduce them a little bit later so that they can all have a certain word to say. But I also want to thank a couple of my board members who are in the audience today, because Discover Long Island is guided by our board of directors. Brian DeLuca, our immediate past chair, is here. Again, those of you on the East End know he's with the Eastern Tourism Alliance, as well as the Aquarium, the Hyatt Place. And Dorothy Roberts is in the audience with the Long Island Hospitality Association. So I really want to thank the support of our board, that they're with us every step of the way. And of course, this all looks wonderful, and all the things I'm going to talk about is because our incredible Discover Long Island staff, who was here bright and early, preparing for this all weekend, calling me at 8 o'clock last night when 1010 Winds wanted to talk to me on a Labor Day. So it's really the team behind this organization that does so much great work. We're very lucky to have each and every one of you. So today we're just not marking the unofficial end of summer. We're celebrating a remarkable journey of achievements and unveiling the next bold phase of our strategy to ensure that Long Island captivates visitors not only during the summer, but year-round. Long Island's tourism has never been stronger, as you've all heard recently, I'm sure, and the numbers revealed in the New York State's new tourism economics report last week tell a story of success that extends well beyond our expectations, as well as beyond the peak summer season. So in 2023, visitor spending soared to an unprecedented $7.5 billion. We knew it was going to be a record-breaking year, but a $1 billion increase over the year before blew everyone away, I think. And that's a double-digit increase. It's 12.7% over the previous year. This level of growth places Long Island among top-tier metropolitan tourism destinations. We are now bigger than Anaheim, California. Did you know that Anaheim, California is a $6.6 billion industry? I'd also like you to know that they spend about $27 million a year promoting Anaheim, not including what Disney spends. But we're also ahead of, we're in line with Dallas, we're ahead of Scottsdale, we're ahead of Tampa Bay. We are a major tourism destination, and not to be overlooked just because we're in the shadow of New York City. This isn't just a milestone. This doesn't just happen overnight. This has been many, many years of preparation, strategic initiatives, innovative campaigns, and strong partnerships, like I mentioned before, that have driven our industry to new heights. This kind of growth speaks volumes to our data-driven approach to targeting not just any visitor, but the right visitor who will stay the longest and invest the most in our local communities. We really don't just cast a huge net. We look for the people that are going to be the high-value visitor, and they're going to spend overnight travelers, and they're going to spend the most money. So the success is evident not only in the increase of overnight visitors, but in spending, and that's really what's going to have the longest and most significant impact in our recovery. We have now eclipsed pre-pandemic levels. Everyone says, are you beyond the pandemic? I'm like, we have far exceeded those. We welcomed 42 million visitors to Long Island last year, which is incredible. And that supports 76,000 local jobs. That doesn't include seasonal jobs. When you start to include the seasonal jobs, that's over 100,000 local jobs that is reliant on this industry. And the report also highlights how visitor spending has surged across key sectors. So one of the things we're talking about today is when we bring visitors, how it supports our local business. The number one thing visitors do, they eat and they drink. So that's the number one thing was $2.7 billion in food and beverage last year. And we're going to have somebody speak about that. And it's so important that that's 36% of all the expenditures for our tourism. Last year, Suffolk County in particular saw a 15.6% increase in overall visitor spending, further solidifying our position as a leading destination. And these aren't just statistics. So what happens is this spending trickles down to benefit us as residents. $900 million in local and state tax revenues. So if not for tourism, each and every one of us as residents would be paying an additional $932 a year to sustain the same government resources that we enjoy. But the real story today is about how we're building on this momentum and how we're managing and sustaining this success. Everyone wants to know how you're going to top it, because once it starts to dip, then they're going to look at us. Everyone says, are you taking credit for all of this? I said, well, if it was going the other direction, we'd certainly be blamed. So we may as well enjoy it while it's going this direction. So traditionally after Labor Day, what many have called Tumbleweed Tuesday signaled the end of the summer rush. And while many of our residents really relish that, they like Tumbleweed Tuesday. But we're here today to let people know that if you love the businesses in your community and you want to support them and make sure they're not trying to survive in a feast or famine economy, we really do need to welcome visitors year round and ensure that they're equitably experiencing the destination and all of the seasons. And so through strategic initiatives and targeted marketing campaigns, we're seeing an evolution in how visitors engage with Long Island throughout the year. Our efforts are designed to drive visitation beyond the summer season, where there is opportunity for growth, and the results continue to speak for themselves. Shoulder seasons, particularly fall, have now become peak season. Mayor Stussy from Greenport is here to tell us how we're trying to manage that as well. We don't want to overload our residents in any season, but we're seeing it where fall season in the North Fork is just as popular. You don't see any drop off from summer season anymore. And we're working on how to mitigate some of those challenges that we have for the residents. But it's a significant portion for East End businesses. We're seeing a shift where the colder months, long considered quiet, are now vibrant with activity and new economic growth. And today, we're unveiling the rebranding of Tumbleweed Tuesday. This renaming initiative isn't just a name and change in terminology. We're reflecting a new reality. It represents the next phase of our strategy to ensure that Long Island is not just a place to visit in the summer, but a destination that attracts all year round. So it's crucial that we ensure this record growth is sustainable. We do want to avoid the pitfalls of over-tourism, like we were talking about, that impact our residents. Our goal is to equitably welcome visitors throughout the entire year and the entire destination while preserving the quality of life for residents and integrity of our environmental landscape. And the only way to do that is to make sure that we're not just flooding people in the summer or even on the weekends. How can we get people here Monday through Friday, year-round? And by changing the narrative around Tumbleweed Tuesday, we're not just changing perceptions, but we're also supporting the local community and businesses and trying to help them thrive in their times of need. Our marketing strategies are as diverse as the experiences we offer. So we are capitalizing on New York City's holiday season. In case you didn't know, New York City welcomes more than 6 million visitors between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. People love to come enjoy the festivities of New York City. So when you're talking to them, you're not just reaching Manhattanites, you're actually reaching global visitors that are there for those iconic attractions. So we are looking at geofencing, taxi cab toppers, playbill inserts in the Lincoln Center Nutcracker. We will be there geofencing things like the Thanksgiving Day Parade, Bryant Park. We're going to let people know that while they're in New York City, they should also visit Long Island. I always like to say, if you love those Hallmark movies, you will love Long Island, because every single one of our little downtowns has a theater that has a holiday production and a cute coffee shop. And so we're really making sure people know if that's the kind of seasonality you're looking for, we are here to offer you something very different than the city does. So we'll have digital billboards in Times Square and a lot of other really innovative innovative marketing opportunities that we'll be doing during that time. So those travelers are here for the picturesque winter downtowns, and we've also launched Short Flight Long Island. So this is a campaign we've done to support Long Island MacArthur Airport many times over the years with their new flights. This year they have a lot of new routes, particularly going to the Florida area. JetBlue, Breeze, I'm sure you've heard about them. So we know that those people in Florida, really, they're all expats of Long Island, right? So we're going to do a whole visiting friends and relative campaign. Obviously, we're not, letting Florida people know to come leave the sunshine and come to Long Island, but we know we want you home for the holidays. And when you come home for the holidays, there's a lot to see and do and a lot of changes since you left. And we're here to help you make sure that, just because you love them doesn't mean you have to sleep with them, your family, right? You can stay at a hotel, you can go to a lovely restaurant. And we also really care about supporting Long Island MacArthur Airport and making sure that those flights are successful. And additionally, we are looking at locals. We talk to Long Island locals because we know that this is the best time of year to get out and about. And last year, our winter campaign that we did generated 25.8 million impressions. And this year, with a more than $300,000 investment in this effort, we expect those numbers to soar as well. And we look forward to reporting those after we're done with the campaign. So one little known thing that we do, because we talk a lot about marketing, but we also have a really dedicated sales team. We're out there promoting meetings and events and businesses. Dee Dee and her team know here, we're always talking about your meeting space. And for a property like this, that's the bread and butter. So our sales team is out there. And in 2022, we generated $26 million of economic impact for the off-season time for Long Island. And, for hotels, the meetings is critical. So here we are, we're rebranding Tumbleweed Tuesday. It's more than a name change. We're going to flip the light and make it official. But before I do that, I'd like to welcome some of our partners to tell you a little bit about what this initiative and campaign means to them. So I would like to start with our lovely host that I'm so grateful that you had us here today, Dee Dee. Would you please come up and say a few words?
Which one? This one? This one? I just wanted to thank you all. I'm Dee Dee Godhell from the Southampton Inn, Claude's Restaurant, almost a local for my whole life, which is a long time. I want to thank DLI so much, and Kristen and your whole team and all of you for being here, so that Southampton Village, which is the quintessential Norman Rockwell painting, it is the most idyllic, historic, cultured, beautiful part of Eastern Long Island, which also includes Greenport and East Hampton and Montauk, and I'm scared I'm going to leave places out, but it's such a lovely place to be, and we're so known for being a summer playground of the rich and famous. But we really are a year-round community. We have restaurants, we have amazing cultural institutions. Christina is here from the Art Center. We have history, we have ecology, we have shopping that's absolutely superb. And we don't want to have the local community feel that it's going to be this kind of rush on a year-round basis with a sort of frenetic party flavor. That's not our Hamptons at the Southampton Inn. We love families, we love the light, we love the artists, we love animals. We love sharing our village with, we only have 42,000 people through our doors annually, not 42 million, but we'll take 43,000. But it's Discover Long Island and their incredible initiative that I hope will raise the tide for all of our East End in terms of bringing visitors. Tourism can be a dirty word. We love it, but others are nervous about it. It's just sharing our 90 guest rooms, our meeting rooms, our village, our institutions, and getting the word out. And with your support, we want all of our local business partners to maintain jobs on a year-round basis, to have the school population see people on a year-round basis, to not have the empty storefronts because there is enough business, because people love it so much. So I thank you all so much for being here and getting started on whatever this thing is, flipping the Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dee Dee, and thank you very much to Discover Long Island. I'm Bill Manger. I'm the mayor of Southampton Village, and we certainly want to encourage people to come here throughout the year. We, contrary to what some people believe, we do not roll up the beaches after Labor Day. And this year, Dr. Stephen Leatherman, otherwise known as Dr. Beach, voted our beach, Cooper's Beach, our main public beach, the #1 beach in the continental United States. And we want people to come and enjoy that beach 12 months out of the year. You can have fantastic walks in the fall, in the middle of winter. On a cold day, it's fantastic. So we want to really encourage people to come. And this village, thanks to trustee Roy Stevenson, who owns Stevenson's Toy Shop here in the village, is working very hard to rejuvenate our downtown. And we've had a number of new businesses come into the village this year. Everything from new markets. We had Berryville Market come all the way from the Hudson Valley to Eastern Long Island because they want to be here as well as a new Blue Water Spa opened up. Buddha Berry, a frozen yogurt, opened up, very, very popular with families on Hampton Road. And we also have some stores that have been here longer than almost anybody, including Hildreth's department store, the longest continuously operating department store in the United States. That, along with Corwin Jewelers and Herrick Hardware Store, again, they've been here for well over 100 years. So we welcome new businesses, we have old businesses, and we want people to come and experience what this village has to offer throughout the year. I'm very pleased to announce that our movie theater, which was constructed in 1932 and is landmarked here in the village with a beautiful marquee, is going to reopen in February of 2025. And it is going to be the only theater on Eastern Long Island, I believe within 50 miles, that will have an IMAX. This will be transformative to the downtown of this village and welcome lots of moviegoers who haven't been going to the movies since COVID back to our historic movie theater to see movies live on an IMAX screen. And we welcome people to come and enjoy that, and that'll be coming up in February. But there is so much to do in Southampton Village, and we certainly want to welcome everybody to come here. We have some great cultural institutions, the Southampton Arts Center. I'm glad to see Christina Strasfield here. They have wonderful programming all year long, and we really want people to come and enjoy the Village of Southampton throughout the entire year. And one thing I want to just mention finally, we have Southampton Fest coming up the first weekend in October. And that's going to be a great festival right here in the heart of the village. We welcome families. Everybody is welcome. And then something that has become huge in Southampton Village, almost as big as our 4th of July parade, is our tree lighting ceremony the Saturday after Thanksgiving. We have thousands of people show up for it, and it is true, it is like a Hallmark movie. It is unbelievable. We even, after we light the tree, have fireworks go off over Lake Agawam. It's spectacular. It's set to music. So we welcome everybody. We have the parade of lights. Fire departments from Riverhead to Montauk all come decorating their fire trucks with lights, and kids love it. Parents love it. It is fantastic. So again, I welcome everybody to come the first weekend in October, throughout the year, and then especially, though, that Saturday after Thanksgiving. If you want to come out with your family and see the parade of lights and the tree lighting and the fireworks, it really is fantastic. So thank you very much. Welcome to Southampton, and I hope you'll come back many, many times. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. So I'd also like to welcome another mayor that we have in the audience, Mayor Stussy from Greenport. And again, Greenport has, in the North Fork, has experienced the influx of the fall season. And we at Discover Long Island always tell people, go Monday through Friday if you want to get the harvest experience, and stay overnight. We can stay overnight and then go the opposite direction. But also, when the harvest season is over, it's just as important to visit Greenport during some of those colder months. So would you mind coming up? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Kristen. It's wonderful to be here with a lot of different friends. I see Tora, who owns Aldo's Restaurant and is part of the board here, my friend Mayor Bill, and the Southampton Arts Center, which I've been so fortunate to participate in a lot of events over the years. It's hard to out-hallmark what you just said, but I'll do my best. And, you know, as she had mentioned, you know, Greenport is now part of a significant amount of events throughout the fall, which really starts in 2 weeks with our Maritime Festival, which has been going on for years and is sort of the kickoff of fall events in the village of Greenport. When you get past fall, though, and head into Halloween, we have a wonderful trick-or-treating for kids throughout the entire business district. There's a parade as part of it, and our new mini train is doing a celebratory Halloween event too. And then as you move into the winter events, we too have a wonderful Christmas tree lighting, menorah lighting, celebrations with the school and music as part of our holiday events. And I'm thrilled to share that starting next winter, we will have a brand new ice rink in downtown Greenport. Thank you to the governor for giving us funding towards building that, which will really help activate it. And we're very much focused on looking at the winter months. One of the things that's been important to realize when we all came out of COVID is that life has changed for many folks. And for a lot of people in the city, that means only needing to be in the office half time. And when you're looking to build events for your team in the city, we think Greenport is a fantastic spot to rent out the hotel rooms in November, December, January, February, March. We've got an amazing new arts center, which was a historic Greenport theater that had opened in 1939 after the big hurricane tore down the prior one. This reopened last year, and I'm thrilled to say it's an amazing not-for-profit group that is showing films on a regular basis, doing events programming, music, and other things, but it is a perfect venue to host groups and do great events in Greenport in the off-season. Thrilled to be here, and also proud to be a pro-housing community, because we too are looking to keep our teams working in these hotels and restaurants 365 days a year and rebuild our downtown so that we got folks living above the store, which is a wonderful thing. Thank you.
Isn't it great to see the passion of our elected leaders in these communities? I mean, you guys are going to put us out of a job. I think you're doing such a good job of doing that. And I think there was a time when we did kind of roll up the welcome mat during the season. As you can hear, that is no longer the case. There is a lot to do. And I think when even I came out here 9 years ago when I had moved, I came out in January to Montauk, and the Montauk Chamber is here with us. Why don't you come up, Jess, and tell us a little bit about Montauk, because when I came out, it was like, I'm trying to find a place to eat, and there's plenty of places that are open year-round. It's been a very big, robust 8 years, so come on up. Jess, nice to see you.
Thank you so much for letting me be here today. My name is Jessica Dye. I am the Assistant Executive Director at the Montauk Chamber of Commerce. I want to start off by saying thank you for letting me be here today and speak on behalf of Montauk as a whole. Tourism plays a significant role in Montauk's economy, encompassing everything from hotel stays, shopping at our local family-owned stores, fishing and charter boats excursions, and dining at our exceptional restaurants. Admiring an incredible history that we have out in Montauk and our attractions and much, much more. Our businesses rely on tourism throughout the whole year to sustain a vibrancy in our community, including the fall, winter, and spring months. At the Montauk Chamber of Commerce and Visit Montauk, we are committed to promoting tourism year-round and sharing with others what makes just our hamlet and every other hamlet so remarkable. Having tourism come out in the off-season offers a unique advantage to both travelers and the local community members. Traveling to Montauk during the off-season provides an authentic and serene experience with different kinds of charms compared to the off-season, compared to the summer months, sorry. Post-summer travels allows our visitors to immerse themselves in our local community, enjoy the nature year-round beauty that Montauk has to offer, like our beaches, our harbor, our trails. There's so much out in Montauk. And it's just a relaxing, peaceful environment to be in. At the Montauk Chamber, we actively support our businesses in working and bringing in and organizing off-season events, like coming up our Fall Fest. It's going to be our 43rd year that we are doing it, so it's been going on for many, many times now. And also our Magic of Montauk event, where we bring out live reindeer and their Santa, and there's so much more to offer. It's literally a Hallmark movie, like everyone else says. It is the cutest thing ever. But we continue to embrace tourism all year round out in Montauk, and we hope it's a win-win for both travelers and our community, and it just encompasses everything that Long Island has to offer. So thank you so much for letting me be here. We appreciate everything.
I've got to figure out a way to brand that Hallmark thing without getting sued, because everybody agrees, right? It's so wonderful. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. It is Norman Rockwell. I think, yes. I don't know that my kids would understand that. They're going to understand, but yes, it is. It's a beautiful place. And somebody that's going to tell you a little bit, again, from the restaurant side is my good friend Tora Matsuoka, who is also the LIA co-chair of the East End Committee with me. And so we are very tied into the LIA, who's also supportive of these initiatives. And we come out to both forks all year round to make sure that we're tapping into the business community. So Tora, would you come up, please? Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Kristen, the work that you're doing here is really spectacular and so important, I think, for the East End. My name is Tora Matsuoka. I own and operate restaurants on the South and North Fork. I have for the past 30 years. As many of you may know, Tumbleweed Tuesday was a real thing for a really long time, but over the past couple years, it's shifting. You know, it's getting busier and busier, but it's not quite there yet. I think this initiative of Tourism Tuesday is such a great idea because the truth is, as many of you know, September and October might be the best months of the year, right? It's the warmest, the water is beautiful. People are still out, but it's not as busy. You can find parking, you know? I think this is gonna be a very important initiative, as Dee Dee had pointed out, to make sure that we can continue to employ our teams that can then support the rest of the season. So thank you so much for this.
And we have a lot of businesses here in the audience that we're just so grateful to each and every one of you for being here. But I did want to also just bring up Christina to the podium. Come on up to speak on behalf of not only the Southampton Arts Center, which, by the way, we have, if you haven't seen our Where You Belong video series on our YouTube page yet, that launched a couple of years ago with our local businesses, we have a new version of that coming out with 6 new videos, including one at the Southampton Arts Center with a veteran who paints and is so incredible. That's going to be coming soon. But the Hamptons Arts Network is such a critical fabric of this community. And, you know, we all know that arts and cultures play such an important role in our lives as residents. And a recent study that came out showed that visitors spend twice as much at our arts and cultural centers as locals do. So visitors are just as important to the arts, and I really appreciate you being here. Would you mind say a couple? Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much. My name is Christina Strassville. I'm the Executive Director of the Southampton Arts Center. We are open year-round, and people are always surprised when I say that, because they think that we're just here for the summer. We have world-class exhibitions year-round. We have classes, we have films, we have panel discussions, we have book signings. We bring international people out to visit our community to help expand what people are seeing, and they so enjoy it. We're also part of the Hamptons Art Network, which is 32 arts organizations, historical societies, film, Hamptons International Film Group here, Hamptons Doc Fest. So we are a part of the community. We bring people out year-round. All of our organizations welcome people. There's activities constantly. You can be here in October, you'll be at the Hamptons Film. You can be here in December for the Hamptons Doc Fest. You can come and do our silent disco. You can come and do our paint and sip. There are so many different activities. I do want to shout out, our family always does New Year's Day, walking on the beach, and I could tell you there's probably about thousands of people coming on the beach because it is a magical, magical setting. So we don't close our doors. We're here year-round. We encourage art groups to come out. We encourage all sorts of people to come visit all the activities that are happening on the East End.
Okay, so it's time. It's time to flip the switch, and we're going to do away with Tumbleweed Tuesday, and we are going to rebrand to Tourism Tuesday. All my speakers, could you please come up by the sign here, please, for the photo op? Come on up. We're going to flip this switch. Change the narrative. Okay, ready? Ready? I hope this works. Drum roll. It's just the power button, right, Courtney? Yep. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you so much. We're around for questions, but otherwise enjoy the lovely hospitality and coffee that Dee Dee and her staff put out, and happy Tourism Tuesday.
I want to thank Kristen and all of DLI for being here for the East End of Long Island. If anybody, obviously coffee, if anybody wants to see guest rooms, we have 2 that we can share, and enjoy the day. It's one of the most beautiful of the fall season now. Thank you. Bye-bye.